sitting way in the back when there's like empty chairs up here?
Let's say.
See, I've made Robin forward.
Yeah, we
Wow.
didn't want to be in somebody's way that was in a hurry. Get poked in the eye, that kind of right.
That was the most ridiculous excuse for sitting in the back. Maybe not the most ridiculous, but it was pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
That was a smart thing.
I wasn't gonna stand right in front of that.
Oh,
It was like,
oh yeah, I just felt bad that you were like sitting behind me like, okay, so does everybody know Sarah Kent? Like I know she's behind me, like yeah. Does everybody know Sarah?
So I see a
Yeah.
few faces that
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen before, so it's nice to meet you. I'm Sarah Kent, I'm a dietitian. I'm in the Plant One clinic with the rest of the health and wellness team, so thanks for coming this afternoon.
You guys get Sarah squared.
Yes.
Our little teammate.
Hands.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so today, welcome to God Health. So I know this is, kind of a long program, but it's going to be short little half hours, and we're going to cover a lot of stuff. Today's pretty generic and introductory, but it's not important just because it's a little introductory and generic. It's really good. What we're hoping is that, each class you walk out of here with at least something that you learned. So, maybe some stuff you already know, but there'll probably be something that you're like, oh, okay, that's something I needed to hear again or for the first time. So we're going to talk about nutrition and physical activity today. But first, before we do that, I know hopefully some of you or all of you did that little wellness survey. You guys might have taken that in Food Academy last year. So if you did that, we're looking to see if anybody wants to volunteer to share either part of their survey, maybe something they noticed on their survey that like, wow, I didn't really realize I was kind of low in that area, and that's something I want to work on, or why you're here, why you wanted to take God Health. Except don't just say I'm here for the points. Yeah, Rob's like, damn. Well, I'm out of here. That's yeah.
I'm just here to hide.
Yeah, you're here to as refuge from something else. Okay. Wow. Well, I guess that could be healthy. So does anybody want to share why they're interested in taking the class or their survey, their wellness survey, or let us know anything?
Hey, Sarah, you were going to email that survey to us and didn't have copies of the other one? I didn't get it.
It wasn't on the email? It was on the attachment was on the email.
Yeah, mine was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's in the attachment.
It was on
It
the
should be
attachment.
on
Yeah.
But it should be in the book.
Yeah. But if not, let me know. I'll send one to you, paper copy. Yeah.
It's green, really.
Yeah, it looks like this. I mean, yeah, if you did print it in color, but that's what it looks like when you open it up. So does anybody want to share it all? I'll pick on people.
So one reason why you want to be here, why you're going to take a half an hour out of your day.
Well, we're here because we want to be healthier.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you're done.
And you teach us.
Yes.
Something new, hopefully.
Right. Exactly.
So you want to learn new things, and your health is important to you.
That works.
All right.
Good,
Well,
sir.
we'll get started because we do have a short amount of time. So we're going to talk a little bit about some nutrition first. Sarah's going to pass out these handouts. Thank you so much. So each week you'll get a little packet of information that is more detailed than we will cover in class. So this first week, the topic talks a little bit about My Plate. So just general nutrition and healthy eating. So a couple things I want to point out to you. So My Plate is the new food guide pyramid. Okay, there's no longer a pyramid. It's been several years now. It looks like a plate. So you can check out this website, choosemyplate.gov. Go on there, punch in your personal details like your age and your height and your weight and if you're a woman or a man, and it'll spit back to you recommendations on how many servings a day you specifically as a unique individual should be eating of grains, dairy, fruits and vegetables, protein. There's also tools on there that helps you to learn about serving sizes for foods from different food groups. So it's just a good resource for you. Then if you open up, there's some little tips on important things for eating healthy, and then you'll see My Plate, the actual picture of the plate. So as I'm sure most of us know, we've got 5 basic food groups. Okay, our fruits, our vegetables, our grains, our protein, and our dairy. Fats are not listed on there, but that's kind of the 6th food group, healthy fats. So just take a step back and think about your eating habits as a whole. Okay, when we talk about healthy eating or maybe a change you want to make, I want you to think about what you're doing 80% of the time, okay? So not getting caught up in little details, but think big picture. What are you doing most days of the week? What are your habits most of the time? Because it's what you're doing 80% of the time that's going to impact your health overall. So thinking about just kind of basic things. Do you eat 3 meals a day? Do you eat, a snack during the day to kind of help keep portions under control? Are you avoiding eating out in restaurants and fast foods? Do you eat lean protein? Stay away from fried foods. Just these basic things, because these are the most important things for our health. And as we go throughout this course, we can get into more detail, but just think about if there's any of these specific things to you that you really want to work on or focus on. The next page kind of talks a little bit about the food groups in more detail, what a serving would be. So one of the most important things that we all tend to be a little lacking in are the fruits and vegetables. So just a little statistic. For the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables that we should eat as adults, only 1% of the population actually eats all the fruits and vegetables we're supposed to eat in a day. It's hard. I mean, it's hard for Sarah and I. It's hard for all of us. So most all of us can probably work on, wherever you're at, increase your fruits and vegetables by just a little bit more. And one thing Sarah mentioned in the last class I think is so important is thinking about portions. And don't think, okay, I have to eat, 10 different fruits and vegetables in a day. But think about, okay, if you have a couple different kinds, it may count as more than one serving. If you have a salad, if you have different greens and your carrots in there and mushrooms, that's several servings of vegetables right there. So I don't want you to feel like, okay, oh my gosh, 5 to 9 servings a day, I'll never get there. Depending on how much you're eating, you probably are eating several servings at just one sitting, okay? And it goes into detail and talks a little bit about that. But I just kind of want to open it up to you guys. Any, things on your mind, maybe something you've heard in the news, there's new dietary guidelines that came out. Any comments about food and nutrition that you want to talk about today?
Sure, I have one.
Yeah.
What is your take on eggs and like how many per
Yes.
week?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
So eggs are an excellent source of protein. And one thing I just want to mention, a little, kind of tidbit of information. Protein as a whole, we get enough of in our diet, most Americans. But a lot of us don't necessarily eat enough protein earlier in the day, as in breakfast or lunch or maybe as a snack. And eggs are a source of protein. It's very filling, it's very satisfying. It doesn't raise your blood sugar. So when you eat protein, it helps you feel full and satisfied, and you might eat less later on in the day then. It might help you to control your portions. The whole thing about eggs is that they do contain cholesterol in the yolk. This year, finally, they were taken out of the recommendation to reduce dietary cholesterol, as in from eggs or from like seafood, was taken out of the dietary guidelines because we found it doesn't really impact your blood cholesterol, the kind that clogs your arteries and affects your heart. The biggest thing that affects your heart health and your cholesterol that you get tested in your bioscreen are things like fried foods, meats, fatty foods, processed foods, restaurant food items, desserts, those kinds of things. And that we found that the little cholesterol in the egg didn't make a difference. So egg whites, you can certainly eat as much as you want to. I've heard research that says eating an egg every single day isn't negatively going to impact your heart health. Try to go for like organic eggs, free range. What the chickens eat produces a better quality type of fat in the yolk that you then eat. So even if you can get farm fresh eggs, that would be, you're supporting your local food
Economy, yeah.
That would be the best.
Yeah.
Good question. So eggs are totally fine, great source of protein, inexpensive source of protein.
That's a good, we haven't got that one yet. That's good.
Good question.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Or fruits or grains or veggies or anything?
So one little kind of tip thinking about those fruits and vegetables, try to include at least a fruit or vegetable at every single meal. Okay, so that's a good tip. Every time you eat a meal, even a snack, do you have a fruit or vegetable? Whether it's frozen, whether it's fresh, whether it's dried. If it's juice, it needs to be 100% fruit juice or 100% vegetable juice, okay? Bigger portions on the fresh or the frozen. If it's like dried fruit, like in trail mix, it's a little bit more calorie dense. So a portion of dried fruit is a 1/4 cup. It's about the size of, the third of your hand, about the size of a golf ball. That is the equivalent nutritionally to like a whole apple, depending how big it is. So
Bunch
just
of grapes.
yeah, just be a little cautious with that.
What about all those V8 juices we're coming out with now?
So a lot of them are blends of vegetable and fruit juice.
Yeah.
Are they mostly 100%? I'm not even looked at them
I'm
all.
pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
That they're- I think that's the whole take is that they're 100%
Yeah,
produce.
So
Oh,
you're
gotcha.
right. So 100% produce, so you get the benefit like phytochemical, all the good stuff. However, fruit juice is much more dense in sugar and calories. So
And
really,
less fiber.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're not getting that dietary fiber
Yeah.
of the whole fruit or the whole vegetable.
So I'd say that calorie and sugar wise, a fruit and vegetable blend is less than 100% fruit blend because the vegetables are, and it's a way to get veggies in, which for sure.
Yeah.
But just portion control, really small
Right.
amount.
Is it better than a soda?
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I'd like something to drink. Low sodium V8, yeah.
Yeah.
Over dew, sure. But you're right, like what
You
she's
see that
saying,
when
is
they're
getting a
having
whole.
that green one that they have.
Oh yeah, where they have the people tasting it and
Yeah.
it's right.
Yeah.
You know, which you could also make a smoothie and then you have all the dietary fiber the fruit in it. So, but yeah, it's real, it's legit, it's real
Yeah.
stuff. It's just there's better choices. Yeah.
Use a smaller glass. If you use the big glass and try to fill it, it doesn't, we still drink more. So get a little teeny glass, little teeny juice glass, and use that when you're drinking juice. That helps with portion control, even with plates too. Smaller the plate,
Like
you're
kid-
going
yeah.
to eat less.
Kids glasses.
Yes.
Kids cups.
Kids cups.
Yeah.
And did
I have
everyone
this
get,
one.
yes,
Yep,
awesome.
I'm
So
gonna
this
pass
is just
this
a
up.
little, just again, big picture. What are you doing 80% of the time? Are you eating regular meals and snacks? Are you eating fruit and vegetables every single meal? Are you in control of your meal? Who is making your meal? Is it from a restaurant? Is it from a package? Or are you making it? So think about those big things. Another comment with the grains. Make sure you have 100% whole grain, starchy type foods. Okay, so that includes things like oatmeal, 100% whole wheat bread, 100% rye bread, ancient grains, things like quinoa, farro, buckwheat. Some of these unique grains. All of those 100% whole grains are higher in fiber, higher in vitamins. They fill you up more. They help you stay more full and satisfied. They're higher in nutrition. We had a question in a couple earlier classes about gluten. So gluten-free does not mean it's healthier. It does not mean it's going to necessarily help you lose weight. Gluten is a protein, which is in all foods that contain wheat, rye, or barley. So it's a lot of foods. And some people have a disease where they get very sick if they eat foods containing gluten. So gluten-free doesn't mean healthy. It just means it doesn't contain that specific protein. So just kind of thinking about that. When you're going for grains, go for 100% whole grains, looking for that in the ingredient label, not enriched or bleached. That means it's more heavily processed. Yeah.
What is your thought on minute rice, brown rice?
Yeah, so a lot of those quick cooking rices, I mean, to my knowledge, it's just that it's like parboiled, so that it's a little bit faster, but it still contains fiber. I
don't know how much of the whole grain
yes.
when they parboil it. I don't know if it's 'cause
Lost in there
Like
and-
if you think of
yeah.
the texture of brown rice versus
Yes.
like when I just do
Right.
the on my the regular rice that I get from like the bulk bins, it's kind of like blown apart a little bit.
Yeah.
The minute rices, where like the brown rice that I get, it like stays as the little grain. Like it keeps its shape as a. So I feel like something must be lost in
Yeah,
the process
right.
there. Something.
It's a spectrum. So
Yeah.
white rice is going to have the least amount of nutritional value, least amount of fiber. Then the quick cooking brown, you'll kind of put that in the middle. That's better than the white rice.
Right.
But the best would be kind of
Brown,
getting
wild.
the brown or wild rice,
Quinoa,
black
farro,
rice
yeah.
now.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And even if they take a little longer to cook, what I would do is just cook a big batch up and then eat it throughout the week because you don't always have 45 minutes for that.
Right. Or it's the first thing that goes on my stovetop. When I was before I even start cutting up veggies, if I know I'm making rice, it is the first thing that goes on the back burner. It just sits there, and it can just do its thing while I'm preparing the rest of the meal. If I'm making a meal that night, otherwise that's what I do on Sundays. You get to use it all week.
Cooking and broth tastes a lot better.
Cooking and
Right,
broth is the game changer for all grains. Yeah, cooking and broth is a big one. Yeah, great.
So we're going to pass
And that's
out.
it. I got this
Oh,
right here.
awesome. Okay,
Yep,
perfect.
I got you.
Since we'll be seeing you again in 2 weeks, we'll give you a little bit of homework or a little take-home kind of assignment. And this nutrition assignment for this couple weeks is going to be to do a food diary, okay? And I'm sure many of you have done it before, but I find, I'm sure Sarah would agree with me that even when you certainly know a lot about nutrition, when you have to do that food diary about your own habits, it's eye-opening. And all of us, definitely can benefit from it, even if we are kind of like, oh, I've done this before. Give it a try again, even if you've done it before. So the parameters of the assignment for your food diary, 3 days, okay? Make sure you include one weekend day, okay? Because we know our eating habits can be a little bit different on the weekends. And make sure you write down everything you put in your mouth, okay? From breakfast all the way to right before you go to bed. So if you walk by, there's somebody has candy out, a handful of candy, cream that you put in your coffee, if you get something from the vending machine, if you didn't clean off the plate at dinner, somebody can finish it, all those little bites, okay, put that all down and everything you drink during the day. So really give it a go for 3 days, and then bring that in with you next time you come and we're going to talk about it. If you don't like the paper, you can certainly use an online app on your phone or a website like MyFitnessPal is a really common one that's pretty user-friendly. So any other questions or comments before we move on to the next topic?
Pretty good.
All
You guys
right.
are quiet today. I think 2 o'clock was such a different group. We're gonna
Just
You guys are,
sponges, just sponges,
It
Sarah.
was,
They're
yeah.
just soaking it all in.
We'll just take it.
Yep, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about exercise next. I'm sure you're all waiting for this one. Show of hands, who in here does exercise? Okay, so leave your hands up. Who in here that exercises likes the exercise that they do? Okay, so we'll come to your hands. That's good. All right, so what I want to talk about today is physical activity, and that it is necessary that we do it. I know throughout all of God Health, we're going to talk about a lot of different things you can do for your health, and I really want to, iron it on our brains that exercise is not, out of the buffet of things you can choose to do to try to be healthy, exercise isn't one that you can maybe just skip, okay? Physical activity is extremely, extremely important for your health and for your well-being. And so the recommendation is 150 minutes a week. So just like Sarah was talking about with trying to get 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables, you might be like, whoa, 150 minutes, that's a lot. Okay, that's, what does that look like? 30 minutes, 5 days a week kind of thing? And you're like, I don't know about that. That's too much for me, or I'm not ready for that. This is something you can build up over time if you're not working out right now. Okay, so again, back to spectrums. Okay, you could be someone who doesn't work out and is looking to start a workout program, and so you're thinking about, okay, I want to start to think about what I can do and add into my life. Maybe you're kind of in the middle where you've done working out in the past and you've fallen off, and maybe you included a little bit, but you don't stick with it. Okay, so maybe how many times a week could I really be honestly thinking about doing exercise? And then all the way to, I do exercise, but maybe I'm not doing the right things, or I need to spice it up a little bit or change some things and include some things, or maybe you're really happy and you're in a maintenance phase and you love what you do and you feel great, okay? So kind of put yourself where you want to be, and let's talk about some of the things that we can do. So it's wintertime in Wisconsin, and it's not a bad winter. We've had a pretty mild winter as far as Wisconsin winters go. What are some things that you guys can do during the winter for exercise? Walks. Snowshoe. Shoveling. I know. And I was teasing last hour because people were talking about shoveling. It was so late this week. It was like 10 minutes to move the fluff. I probably could have used a broom. But yeah, I shoveled. Anything else? We have people talking about ice fishing and running for tip-ups with boots and beer. Your turn? A lot of core work when you're trying not to slide on the ice. So that's one. There are things that people do, but then you ask, and then I ask people are like, oh, snowshoe. I'm like, oh, great, do you snowshoe? I don't want to go outside. So I think we know that we can do these things, but in the winter, we do get a little on the lazy side, and maybe we don't want to push it. Like today, when it's 8 degrees outside, I'm pretty sure everybody's driving to the clinic to see us instead of walking today. I did get one person that walked. I know, because it's harder to talk yourself into it, but I still love to go outside in the winter. That's my gig. I'm okay with it. We walked in the snow path and it's great. But there's lots of stuff you can do inside, and it doesn't have to necessarily be traditional exercise. You know, I don't have a gym membership. I work out in my home and other places and just areas. Okay, so let's think about some other things that you can do for physical activity. Who here has a job where they sit most of the day? Okay, yeah, both of us. Yeah, it's tough, right? And you're like, I'm not up and walking around a lot. So one thing, if you're able to kind of take a hot lap around the building or from building to building or outside if you can, what are other things that you can do either at work or at home that would get you active? So you had 10 minutes. What might you want to do?
Lift individual weights.
Yeah, lift weights.
Watching TV.
Perfect. Lift weights while you're watching TV. That's a great example. Yeah. I'm talking about even like lifting your laundry detergent or something, you know, if you don't have weights. It's just household stuff, or yeah, doing some modified push-ups on the wall or the floor. We were talking about during the news, okay, during the nightly news. It's a half hour, right? So during the nightly news, if the commercials are on for, you know, acid reflux and ED, which is all that they have on during, right? Right? You don't need to see those commercials. You know what they are. They're 15 minutes long of some pharmaceutical company. What could you be doing? Let's see if I can hold a plank during this commercial. You know, or let's see how many modified push-ups I can do, or do a couple squats or something, you know. That's something maybe you can run your stairs, walk up and down your stairs. So there's lots of ways that it doesn't necessarily have to look like I got to go to Planet Fitness for 30 minutes and sit on machines and move stuff around. There's lots of stuff you can do for physical activity. And basically what we want you to think about is getting your heart rate up, sweating. Yep, that's part of it. Everybody look excited. It's gotta happen. And using your muscles, okay? So doing something that uses your major muscle groups. So including some of the weightlifting and using your own body weight, like squats and push-ups and stuff. That's strength training, okay? So thinking about different ways that you work out. So if you look at this sheet, on here, and like Sarah said too, we're not going to go through this line item by line item, but looking at some of these pieces, you know, for physical activity for the week, what you want to be doing. On page 4, it talks about how active are you. This you do not have to turn in. So just like your food logs, I want you to be honest with yourself on here, but this one you actually don't have to turn in. This is a good opportunity to be really honest with yourself. When you look at this, you know, being honest, how active are you now? How active are you really now? Like, really be honest. Do you really think that you're really active, or are you like really trying to push things because you want to feel like you're active, okay? Or what activities have you done in the past, and why did you stop? So here's an opportunity to actually write down, maybe for the first time, why you stopped working out and doing something. Maybe you didn't enjoy it. I give the example of somebody who might come in my office and say they want to lose weight, and we're going to start talking about nutrition and exercise, and they say, I really got to get running. That happens a lot in consults. I really got to start running. And I'm like, oh, are you a runner? No, I hate running. I'm like, well, then why would you do that? It's like, well, that's how you lose weight. If you don't like to do that exercise, don't do it. So when people come to me and they're like, well, Sarah, what should I do for exercise? I'm like, what will you do? What activity will you do? That's the exercise you should do. Okay? So if someone suggests something to and you know you're not going to do it, don't pretend. Don't be like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to fit that in. And then it goes on for like a week or two, and then it never happens again. That's a really bad way to get an exercise routine going, okay? So think about creatively what things you will do, and be honest on this little thing, you know? What I like about an exercise, what I don't like about something, about being active or not being active. And just take some time to think about it. And then that will put together what this looks like for you in your real life, okay? And what exercise is going to look like to you. On this page, these are the benefits of physical activity. So I really like to point out that, you know, exercising is not just because I want you guys to look like these amazing Olympian bodies, okay? Which would be great if we all had that going on. But really what it is all these amazing things. And this is just even a snapshot of what exercise and physical activity can do for you. You know, it helps you so much internally, and having, like, doing strength exercise is going to help you with your bone density. It'll help against dementia and Alzheimer's as we age if we do exercise and activity. So So it's more than just what's going on now and the energy that you get and the immediate benefits. It's even things in our future. So really take a peek at that, and maybe circle or highlight something that is really important to you on here to remind yourself why you want to be active. And then you guys can read through the rest of this and take a peek at the different pieces of like what the right shoes are to wear and some different things with activity. But this last page, if you could put your name at the top, this one will be something you turn in. So this one you're going to turn in. So this is just a small start to goal setting for physical activity. Again, just like the food journals you guys are going to turn into us, we're not going to judge these. This isn't for judgment. This is about you and your health. So if you are someone who doesn't work out and you want to start with just, I want to be active for one day for 20 minutes, or I want 2 days at 15 minutes, and that's what you know you can do, set yourself up with a realistic goal that you know you can attain, and see if you can do it, and log that and bring it in next time that you're here. Push yourself if you can. You know, see what you can do. Maybe you already are doing great. Maybe you're doing really, really good with exercise, but you know you want to do some extra yoga because you don't stretch that well. That would be a great one. I want to add in some yoga. Or maybe you don't do yoga at all. That's a great exercise to do, okay? And that would count. You know, so how can you get those steps in the day? How can you get some exercises in? How can you get some activity in, okay? I know it's really cold now, but it's supposed to be nice this weekend, I think, in the 30s at least. Some new powder should be okay. Yeah, can't get outside, do so. But any thoughts or questions on activity or things that you hate or love or feelings, thoughts, emotions? No? 3:15 is a quiet class today. You guys used to be rowdier. Right, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of the rowdier went to 2 o'clock.
So we have for 2 o'clock?
Yeah, that's where the action is, yeah.
2 o'clock now.
Yeah. All right, any other questions with that? So remember that you're going to do those food journals for 3 days, one of them being a weekend day, and then doing your, move your muscle goal, okay? Was there anything else? Nothing else we need to hand out. But just so if you guys didn't see, the black bean brownies are up here to try, even though that's Wednesday, and that makes me a bad Catholic to give you chocolate and treats on a day where you're not supposed to eat between meals and eat treats. But we were calling them breakfast bars.
Yeah, breakfast
Yeah.
bars.
A little energy bar. Gives you a little, yeah.
Fiber bar.
Yep, fiber bar. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, healthy trees with this, you want actually 6 days for 3 days.
No,
3. It just-
yeah, 3. But maybe you really,
Yeah.
maybe you really feel like it's working for you and you want to keep going, but minimum 3.
Right. Like we could have just done the 1 page. It was a 2-page
Yeah,
document. So yeah, good question. It's there if you want to continue, but for sure the 3. Yeah. Anything else? Is there anything else we forgot to mention? I don't think so.
So think 80-20 with your eating, what you're doing, and with exercise too. All of that. Whatever you're doing, 80% of the time is what affects your health. So think about it that way. Fruits and vegetables every single meal, and just kind of think in these next few weeks and months, what do you want to focus on? What's going to be your personal goal?
Right.
Start thinking about that.
Yeah, because we're going to explore these things in more depth and detail and get into things like stress management and balancing out some lifestyle stuff and getting things to work a little bit that's best for you. So think about what you want, and then hopefully the information that we provide to you will help you explore that a little bit and get to those things. Okay? The to-dos? The to-dos on the back, yeah. On the back page, that is
So this is the session 4 overview.
Oh,
that's to read. Oh, no. That's not, no, that's okay. That's on the nutrition one.
right. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Kind of optional.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just the last page on the exercise one and the 3-week. Yeah, or 3 days. Oh, the survey you can hold on to. Yeah, thank you.
go with the chart, did you want that?
I'll take it if you want to give me your chart. I'll take it. I mean, I was.
Work.
That's
You did,
awesome.
I know,
That's
and we
beautiful.
hadn't been collecting them, but I did notice this is pretty impressive. Can I hold this up?
Wow.
Look at how I mean.
The last time I stapled on the back.
I
and
should
you
have
didn't
showed.
find it.
I know. That's right. I should have showed Rindles. He did it on his computer, and it was like, oh, I know.
That's what I did too.
Right, but I mean, like he printed it on that.
Oh, no, I did, I taped
He went
it.
way too far.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you
Yeah.
kind of learned about yourself by
The big
doing
one.
that? Or?
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
I was higher than what I thought on certain things, and where I was low, I figured that out, so.
Yeah. The questions are interesting on the survey, right? I mean, even just the questions themselves get you thinking, even if you don't get to the pie chart bit. They're thought provoking to kind of think about where you're at with your life and what you do. So yeah.
Next week we're gonna do class in the dark to save energy.
Should we? Yeah. Right.
Just kidding.
Everybody-
That was one of the questions.
Yeah, but then everyone's gonna have their cell
Yeah.
phones out to see what's
Yeah.
going on, and then that won't work. Yeah. Environmentally safe. Or going outside. That would be daylight. I mean, I did it in the summer, but what about the winter? I would be down with
For
that.
a half hour, fine, if you give me warning and I can wear along my road, I'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Way to fight for it. All right. Yeah. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. If you have any questions, just email me. Let me know. Otherwise, thank you for coming. Thanks, guys.